haven't we got a guy who's discharged an elephant gun in our face?
Oh, God, yeah.
You missed.
No, I'm just going to give you a quick... Well, he might
Well,
not,
no,
he
he
might not,
fired it into the sky, didn't
he
he?
wasn't aiming for you.
Yeah,
But it
still
fired in
missed.
front of us. Is that what you were going to say, James? Ha ha, you missed!
Yeah, boom!
I'll give you a quick
I'm a bit-
update when
I'm a bit
everybody
jumpy.
tells me they're ready.
Sorry,
I'm
Neil.
ready.
Alright.
Okay, yeah, I think we're all go.
Okay, just gonna get a drink.
Right, okay, so after the last session you went to quiz Mrs. Smythe Forbes, the proprietor of the Nairobi Star. Started to discuss the happenings at the Endicott Game Lodge when you came under attack again from some fire vampires. You managed to defeat the fire vampires, but the old wooden building, which was full of old newspapers, went up like a candle, and you fled, and as you left the building you ran into an elderly gentleman, ruddy-faced, very tall man, well over 6 foot, with a slouch hat and a big moustache. Shaking with fury, he's just fired his elephant gun into the air above you, and I'll send you a picture of him in a second. There we go. I've had enough of you, Mrs. Smythe Forbes. You're ruining my business with your lies. Colonel Endicott, please, this isn't the time. I don't care, it never is the time, is it? My business is running out of customers because of you and the stories you're printing. You're ruining me, woman. I'm not doing anything except printing the truth. Look, my business is on fire. Help!
Stay
Neil, going to start trying to rally people in the street, gathering buckets of water.
Yeah,
stuff
that's
like
a small crowd's already gathered, and in the distance you can hear the ringing of a bell. I don't care about that. What about my business?
Who is this, Mrs. Forbes?
I'm already getting ostracised by the community because of what you're printing. This isn't the time, Colonel. We can talk later. Yes, it's always later with you, isn't it?
What, Governor? Are you Colonel Endicott, are you?
What are you going to do
All right,
about it?
pleasure to make your acquaintance.
He stops and looks over your shoulder, Jacob, at the flames he can now see through the doorway, and then he looks up at the smoke billowing into the dusk sky. What the bloody hell's going on here? There's a fire! I know, I've been trying to tell you. Help! One of the...
Hey, you didn't start this fire, did you? Come in here with your accusations.
Well, fire! Is there anyone left in there?
No.
No, they've all been pissed on.
He slings his elephant gun over his shoulders. It's absolutely huge. Says, well, Mrs. Carruthers isn't going to be any good here. Let's get some help. Fire! And he starts running down the street waving his arms about. Fire! Smythe Forbes does the same. One of her workers that fled has come back with a small crowd and some buckets of water, but they start throwing it onto the flames, but it doesn't seem to be doing much good.
I'm going to start trying to evacuate.
Seems like they're an excitable lot, doesn't it?
Maybe we should get back from here a little bit. Sebastian's backing away, limping, wincing as he does so.
I'm going to draw back from the flames there and give everybody some room to operate, and just keep an eye on who are the people who are watching, whether anybody's slinking away or anything.
Well, to be honest, most people have actually come forward and trying to help. What's that for, Mark?
I said, come here, let me try and help. That was Sebastian.
Oh, okay.
That failed.
Okay, he winces even more as you start pressing his burnt skin with your fumbling fingers. Okay, after a few minutes, a horse-drawn cart draws up and several of the King's African Rifles jump off. one of them has been ringing a bell in the back. On the back of the cart is a huge tender full of water, and they they form a line and start passing buckets, and one of them gets a hose which he attaches to a spigot on the barrel. Everybody stand back!
Can I see an Indian fellow with a turban in the crowd? Like the guy who saw us at the platform.
You can see quite a few Indian people with turbans in the crowd.
Specifically the guy who was looking funny at us when we left Mombasa.
Wasn't it George that saw him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, in that case I didn't have that idea.
Oh, I'll let you know. Somebody said, don't look down, there's somebody looking at the station.
But yeah, there's a few Asians around. I mean, there's a lot of Asians because you're quite close to Browntown.
Oh, that makes me very nervous.
Okay. Okay, you stay and watch. How long are you staying and watching for? Mrs. Smythe Forbes is in tears. Colonel Endicott stormed off somewhere.
I'm not hanging around at all. I'm getting out of there straight back to the hotel.
Okay, Sebastian's limp. He's going to need some help.
Yeah, I'll give Sebastian a hand. I'll take him.
Okay.
Can I give him some first aid en route?
Yeah, you can try to bandage
down-
his leg
down
up
a
with
little
rip some cloth, soak it in water.
I'll take him
Bandage his
down an
burns.
alleyway and turkey his trousers down and try and help him.
I'm not going to urinate on him.
Oh no, only made matters worse.
He still looks at you rather angrily.
I'm rather
Looks like your problem was worse than mine.
Put your trousers back on, Sebastian.
What about Jacob and George? What are you two doing?
I'm following Hubert going back to the hotel, but trying to stay out of so the troops didn't notice it at the fire. If they
Okay.
keep seeing us at fires, they're going to start thinking we're starting them.
Yeah, we shouldn't split
We
up.
need to be careful. We shouldn't be found on the scene of another fire.
I want to see if anybody's following us. Maybe. When we-
Okay, yeah, make spot hiddens.
We might do that, though.
Initiate. Spot
What are you doing, Hubert?
3.
I'm just trying to see if anybody's following us, because that
Oh,
fire.
that's a good idea.
We didn't start it. Somebody else must have done.
They're after us! Oh!
What's that,
There's
George?
no
Somebody's behind
one
us.
that you see acting particularly, interested in you. Most people are watching the fire, or either trying to help or.
Okay. I'll sneak off.
Okay, so you head back to the hotel. It's sort of late-ish now.
Right. Okay. So
No,
that's
Right, okay. Can we sit down and talk about this, gentlemen? Do you mind? Maybe we can get a drink from the bar, but we need to talk about what's going on.
I suggest a stiff drink after our excitement.
I think that sounds like a very good idea, Sunshine.
Yeah, you can go into the bar of the hotel.
Okay.
What's going on, gentlemen? I heard the fire bell ringing. Is everything all right?
Sounds
Oh.
like there's some sort of a fire.
Some sort of right hole to do up that way, isn't there? I mean, there's smoke. You can see smoke.
How to say?
I believe it was the officers of the local newspaper.
What, the Star?
How do you know that, George?
Well, I saw the crowds and talked to some people.
All right.
Fast talk, fast talk.
You know. Ask questions.
Okay, yeah, so you order
Right,
whatever you want
gentlemen.
to drink.
Okay. So it's
Gentlemen.
really down to George, because I'm all for spilling the beans. Because he's such a trustworthy guy. He's helped us
I
so
want to know
much.
what's going on. These things keep popping up. Now, I think they're probably following you, but I don't know where they're coming from or what they're doing. You told me on that night you were in the hospital, Mr. Hubert. You told me a whole load of things I didn't think were quite perhaps true, and I did think you were a little bit doodally-tat, didn't I? But now I'm seeing these things with my own eyes. That fire once started naturally. Look, all I'm saying is, gentlemen, you two are obviously involved in something fairly big here, and I'm up for helping you out. I want to find out what's going on as much as you do.
Out of the goodness of your heart.
No, not out of the goodness of my heart, you doom brain. Because you're paying me a nice bit of fancy dollar, and I'm handy.
I thought so. Well, I know where we stand. That's good. Next.
I
I'll
think
see
he's
you,
trustworthy,
I'll see you
George.
then.
I think we should tell him
Good.
everything.
Everything.
Especially about the picture.
It's tempting.
Have a look at this.
That's not. Well, if anything should happen to us, Spencer, there's a picture rolled up in my rucksack.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, never look at it.
Oh, I like it.
That's fair enough. I'll never look at it.
Oh, no, don't. Goodness me. No.
Guys,
Absolutely
while you
not.
have your
What is this
conversation, I've just got
painting?
to nip AFK a minute, okay?
Right. What is this painting?
It's obscene.
Obscene as in, you know? Bit of
Just-
as your father.
I don't know.
Worse.
I've never
Worse?
looked at it, but I've heard some terrible things. Terrible. Whoa.
No, of course you maybe want to have a look at it, haven't you?
We've never looked at it.
Right. Well, do you know what's on it then?
And we've got this journal we've been keeping, which you can read overnight, but we do want it back. And
Right.
as you'll see, there's a couple of Chinese gentlemen who originally looked into the picture.
And what happened to them?
Well, they're not around anymore, and that's why the journal stops at the point that they did. So we're not quite sure what
alright.
happened to them.
Okay, right, I see what you're saying now.
There's obviously
Right,
something.
More strange things going on around you two. I'll tell you. Hey, didn't somebody say you were an author? Didn't you write?
You probably read some of my books.
Well, no, I haven't, but I wouldn't mind having a read now, especially now I'm trussed up with you.
Well, try reading the journal we've been keeping first. That's good, and then I'll maybe give you a signed copy of one of my other books if you haven't already got it.
Alright, that sounds like a blinding idea.
And so I think we can let him read the journal, George.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm reading.
They've passed me the journals, I'm just sitting down and reading through everything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Shaking my head occasionally.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so the only thing I think that we've got is we go and see Colonel Blimp. Is one lead, which has the advantage of being able to also ask about because he's the guy with Game Lodge, isn't he?
Yeah.
We've got seeing the guys at the army barracks, which also includes asking the guy who discovered the bodies on the original Carlisle expedition. Looking into that, and we've got Tandor Singh at Beer Street, which sounds incredibly improbable, but nevertheless.
Well, you'd already arranged the next morning for Nails Nelson to meet you and take you into Blacktown to find Johnston Kenyatta as well.
That's right, yeah, in Kenyatta. So let's go with Kenyatta first. I think
Okay.
last time, George,
As you're having
was-
this discussion, 4 armed members of the King's African Rifles enter the room, walk up to the barman, have a quick word with him, and
I'm
then
going to
they
leg it
turn.
before anything happens. As soon as they
Running.
come in, I'm running.
Halt! Stop in the name of the king!
I'm just going to keep
Okay,
running.
one of them shoots at you.
Oi, 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 no need for that, what the hell's going on?
Hold on, I've just got it. Fine.
Has he got his rifle drawn? Was it over
Yeah,
his
they had
shoulder?
their rifles at the ready when they came in.
Business.
Okay, let's use
Yeah.
he lifts his Lee Enfield up.
Misses.
Nice.
Fires a shot at you. As you flee from the room, the lintel of the doorway explodes above your head, and then you leave.
I'm out of there.
Come back! One of them runs off after you.
I
The
just
other
think
3
keep
walk
legging
over
into the
to
darkness.
George, Jacob, and Sebastian. Okay, so you run off into the darkness. Are you
I'm
going
gonna
left or
hide.
right? You're going to hide.
Just run behind something hideable.
Make a hide roll.
Yes.
Okay, he's got a 50% spot hit. Oi! Get out from behind those barrels, you!
Oh, I'm just desperate. I need a loo.
Get out of there now!
I'll make like I'm having a having a poop.
Okay.
Yes,
He
give me a
waits
hand.
there, pointing his gun at you.
I'll step out and pretend to pull my trousers back up.
Back in the bar. Back in the
God,
hotel.
some people. I won't go back in the hotel.
Okay. You walk back into the hotel, and the other guys are waiting, standing over and pointing their guns at George, Jacob, and Sebastian. Another member of the King's African Rifle comes in with a fellow that you haven't seen before, an Indian guy, and he looks at you and then says to him, "Yeah, that's him. Those blokes have started every fire. I'll stake my pension on it." And he then the sergeant walks over to you. "Gentlemen, I'm afraid you're under arrest for arson and murder. Stand up, please."
See if there's whether he's got the power of arrest.
You can make a law roll. Yeah.
Oh, so close.
Oh yes, I'd forgotten about you and your vast knowledge of the law from last time.
What's like?
Your hands, please, gentlemen. One of them comes up with some handcuffs.
I wanted to use my extensive knowledge of the law to see what the punishment for murder is in this part of the world.
Well, you're part of the British Empire, and the normal punishment for murder in 1925 is death by hanging.
It's a fair cop. I murdered that guy.
See whether you've got immunity, Dave, as a diplomat. See, your legal knowledge helps you with that.
Okay, they ask you to put your hands in front of you, and then they get some manacles out. Are any of you resisting? Sebastian's in no fit state to resist.
Well, surely, excuse me. Surely the manacles are slightly. I'm unarmed. I mean, what am I going to do with this? You got all these chaps with rifles here. I'll try a fast talk so they don't put some manacles on me. I'm an employee of His Majesty's.
You need
I've worked for the Foreign Office.
Critical could do it.
Okay, half your normal fast talk.
Yeah.
I ain't
It's
gonna
a
do it.
lord. It's a lord.
Okay, they gesture for you to put your hands into the manacles. Okay, so is anybody resisting?
Legs will hurt me.
You already run like a cow.
I want to
Okay.
run again.
They march you off to the local jail
No.
and throw you in a cell for the night. There'll be someone come speak to you in the morning.
I demand to see a
And with
lawyer.
that, they slam the door. Oh dear.
I'm going to check out the bars on the window. I mean,
Okay.
are they strong?
As far as you can tell, they look very strong.
I'm going to pull at them a bit.
Okay, they don't move.
I'm going to pull at them a lot.
Who meets out justice in this part of the empire? Is it travelling magistrates? Is there a
Make a law roll.
Is there a governor? Is it? That.
Yeah, normally there is a governor of the colony, and he will have the ultimate say. But what normally happens is it'll be dealt with by a magistrate rather than a jury. If there isn't a magistrate in the local town, then you will need to be kept there until a magistrate can be found and brought up to hear the case.
Seeing as, I mean, I'm not sure whether you just neglected to say it, but I take it they didn't bother searching us, they just threw us in a cell.
Well, yeah, but unless you're not.
No, you didn't say.
Hold on, but
You didn't say.
I'm presuming you weren't carrying your lightning gun around, and but no, they just chucked you in the cell.
Never presume. If it's in my inventory.
How many sticks is dynamite?
Yeah,
He's been carrying around with him.
Dynamite with it.
Well, I'm supposing they have taken what I have in my pockets out of me, which would include the
They've
dynamite.
My lockpicks.
they've given you a brief frisk.
Okay. Ooh.
Any weapons have
You
been
were
taken
a
off you.
No,
But
I
I don't
got my
think you had any on
lockpicks
you
out.
anyway.
No.
So, is anyone doing anything?
Yeah, I'm trying to force these
I'm going to
bars.
continue to read that journal.
Okay. Yeah, you spend the time forcing the bars, but you can't shift them at all. Far too
Oh,
strong.
you say that.
That's because it's true.
Isn't there like a chance that they might be rusty?
No.
Some
They
chance.
look particularly well oiled.
What about a 0-1? If it was a 0-1, could we force the bars?
If you roll a 0-1 followed by another 0-1,
Do it. Amazing!
Oh, so close.
Natalie Smythe Forbes, what?
Hey, maybe by some stroke of luck they've left the key in the door.
No, they haven't.
What else? Can we
Sebastian slumps down against the floor, moaning in pain.
Maybe
Can I
when they
hide
built-
underneath the bed?
There aren't any beds in there, it's just a bare cell with a bucket in the corner.
And hide in the bucket? Like
I'll put your head in it, James.
like a water barrel.
This
like
is not
a-
happening, this is not happening.
Maybe when they built this prison they forgot to build the walls.
How can we get out? I just need to...
Natalie, stop it.
So, somebody's going to come in the morning, and then they're going to tell us that the magistrate's on his way, and he's going to be like another month.
Unless the local commander of the garrison goes, oh, I'm not waiting.
Let's just see what they got to say. This is still the British Empire. They're not going to convict us without evidence. Not on just a hoo-ha and a hee-ha or say of a lucky see, are they? Some Indian dude. They're not going to put some Indian dude's word over at us.
I suppose my fame might get me out of it. God, George, you must be able to pull a few strings.
Are you going to pretend you're ill? Oh,
Okay. Are you doing anything for the rest of the evening?
Yeah, moaning.
Look. I suggest we all get our story straight. It's quite obvious we're all on the way back from seeing nails and all that stuff happen.
I think we need to find out Mr. Smythe Forbes, because surely she'd be able to testify that we didn't start the fire.
She's testified that we were there.
Yeah, but she was talking to us.
About the fire on the train. It's not looking good, is it?
Her eyewitness surely will point out the fact that we didn't start any fire.
That's true, actually.
We
Yeah,
didn't
we-
start any fires. They were always burning since the world was turning, innit?
So we'll say we were seeing Forbes about the newspaper because we were interested in what her theory was as to why the fire started, because it wasn't us that did it.
Don't mention the fire.
But she's going to tell them that that's what we were there asking her about.
Yes, somebody's following us setting fires. And who was that chap who reported
Okay.
us?
Are anyone doing any actions before the next morning?
No.
Strange that you think some Indians are sort of giving you some trouble on the train, and then you had me go and check out that Indian chap, and now it's an Indian chap who's...
Okay.
I'll say you've got a common
You have
enemy there.
a rather poor night's sleep. Sebastian's looking very pale and shaking when you wake up the next morning, and then there's...
Has everybody tried first aid on him?
I don't think I have, actually. Oh my goodness me, Sebastian, you don't look very well.
Take some aspirin.
Oh. Okay, roll 1d3.
That's a 2.
A little bit of colour comes back into his cheeks, and he smiles at you rather wanly, but stops shaking. Then there's a rattle of keys in the door, which is flung open. There's two members of the King's African Rifles there pointing guns at you. And another man comes in, looks at you, George. You, come with me!
And who am I talking to?
Come with me.
Oh, gentlemen, I'll see you later. Don't forget what we said.
So they take you out, George, and the door's locked again. They march you down a corridor into a small office. One of them pulls out some manacles and chains you to a desk through an iron loop that is hammered into the desk. And a member of the King's African Rifles sits down opposite to you and asks you for your personal details: your name, your age, date of birth, town of birth, reason for being in Kenya. What are you going to say to those answers? The truth?
All my personal details I will answer truthfully, and that we're here on safari.
So not truthfully then.
Well, no, it's the truth. We're here to go on a safari. It's exactly the truth.
Okay.
It's sort of the truth.
Okay.
Going into the Great Rift Valley.
As he does his psychology.
Do you have
role
anything else
against
to say at this moment?
Have you spoken with Mrs. Smythe Forbes? I'm sure she'd testify that we didn't start any fire.
We're currently we've just begun our investigations into the fires.
And who was this chap? Who was this chap who happened to be on hand to report this act?
I'm not here to answer your questions. You're here to answer mine, sir. Do you have anything else? Any other comment to make at this time?
So good cock and walk out of there.
With my head held. At least I can walk out with my head held high. Who is your commanding officer?
Right, take him back to the cell.
I demand to speak to your commanding officer.
Okay.
This is horrendous treatment for a member of the British Empire.
The rest of you hear George shouting as he's marched back into the cell. And then they point the gun at you, Jacob. You, next. Come with us.
Alright, Governor, no need to be so feisty, is it? I'll come in.
Alright, they march you. They basically same routine. Name,
Okay.
date of birth, town of birth, reason for being in Kenya. What do you answer?
Jason Slater, date of birth. I don't really remember. I was spawned sometime after the war. What address? I like to live in your mother's boudoir, sunshine. I'll tell you that. What else you need to know?
Why are you in Kenya?
Why am I in Kenya? Well, I was visiting your old lady, wasn't I?
Make some notes on a piece of paper. Have you got anything else to add at this moment, sir?
No, not unless you want to bring her in.
Right, go and get the next one. They march you back out to the cell. Then they drag Sebastian out. After about 5 or 10 minutes, they bring Sebastian back, and then Hubert. Oh, they point at Hubert. Sorry.
Oh.
You're next.
Okay, I'll go.
They march you off. Sit you down. Name.
So I'll give him my name, Hubert Reginald you, and maybe you've heard of me.
Town of birth.
That's right. Well, that would be Richmond. Can I try a credit rating roll, see if he has heard of me? I'm pretty famous.
You can make a credit rating roll, yeah.
Pretty famous.
Okay. He may have heard of you.
Yeah. So, I'm assuming you have heard of me. You probably know that.
Date of birth?
Well, yes, I'll give him the date of birth. There we go.
Reason for your visit to Kenya?
Well, as you know, I'm an author. I'm into hunting unusual animals, and that's why I'm here to go on safari.
Do you have anything else to add at this time, sir?
How long are we going to be here for?
I don't know, sir. You'll be having a barrister will be coming to see you later today.
Oh, good. Do I have to stay in that cell? It's a bit pokey.
I'm afraid so, sir.
Oh, that's a
Sorry,
shame.
it's not the Highlands Hotel. It is what it is.
Oh, sorry. Well, maybe we could stay at the Highlands Hotel if we agreed just to stay
Okay,
there.
you can take him back to the cell now. Okay, you'll march back to the cell. You're all together again.
I blamed it all on Sebastian. How about you?
I blamed it on Jacob.
He gives you a withering look. Okay,
Shit.
a couple of hours pass, and there's another knock on the door. The door is opened. There are 2 guards surrounding a man who I shall send you a picture of. A rather elderly gentleman with a monocle, a moustache, thin black tie under his jacket.
Yep, as long as he hasn't got a black scarf on his head. Handkerchief.
There you go. Okay, he walks in carrying a briefcase. Gentlemen, I'm Mr. Neville Jamin. I'm your barrister.
Excellent. We didn't do anything though, so...
He looks back at the guards. This is a private meeting, gentlemen, between myself and my clients. If you care to shut the door, please. They shut the door behind him. You hear the key turn in the lock.
Click.
Right then, where should we start? I
you
presume
show
you know
some
why
ID,
you're here.
Well, yes, we didn't do it. Let that put down on record straight away.
Well,
No, George, we
look,
don't know
to
who
be
this fellow
honest,
is.
from what I hear, there's no hard evidence other than the fact you were at the location of both fires at the time they started.
Yes,
However,
yes.
that is quite persuasive evidence, seeing as very few other people were.
He was. He put to Slater. It was him.
So he makes a few notes about. Are you giving him the same information you gave to the?
Yeah. We're here on safari.
I've looked over the information you gave, Mr. Jason Slater, is it?
Yeah.
Jacob.
Yeah, Mr. Slater, I suggest that in future you are less flippant in your answers to the authorities. It won't go down well with the magistrate.
Oh, make tea with the old general a little bit awkward, does it?
No, it just means you're more likely to be hanged for murder.
Ah, well, you know, some people walk a line. But thank you for your advice.
Let's hope
I
it's
will
not a
take it on
black
board.
line.
Who do you know is the person who is the Sikh fella who came to actually point us out when we were in the hotel?
I don't know. I don't have that information yet. I'll be getting copies of the investigation notes as they become available.
I'll be very interested to know who he is.
Yeah, me too. Right, gents. So basically, as far as I can see, that there's nothing but circumstantial, though rather strong circumstantial evidence at the moment. What else can you tell me about these fires? Anyone who
Yes,
you
perhaps
suspect might be starting them?
perhaps you could speak to or get hold of the employees on the railway, the porters who help us and saw us at great cost to ourselves. Put the fire out. If it
That's
wasn't
true.
for us, the whole of the train would have been burnt down.
Okay, he makes some notes. I believe one of the porters was killed by the fire. Is that correct?
It's very unfortunate.
Don't change the facts, though. What you said was true. I saw it all.
No one was supposed to die.
It just seems very strange. Can you explain how the fire started at all?
I think the porter was smoking in the toilet.
Neil, does he appear to be a little bit too interested about what we know about what? No, I got no idea really. Whether he's more than a legal brief interest in
I don't know.
things. No,
Nice. Should we just murder him?
Set fire to him.
Yeah. I summon forth the flames of Hazak. See,
Knows
nothing
too
happened.
much.
If I did so. How these? Well, I literally have no idea how they started on the train. I'm sure fires have started on trains before. I'm sure that towns out here and the back of beyond have seen their fair share of fires.
Yes, okay, fine. Well, it's all a little bit unusual.
If you do think about what was pulling the train at the time, the great big cauldron of burning.
Yes, but that was at the far end, opposite end of the train to your car.
Cinders coming up the smoke track, going back up along the train, falling on the train and setting fire to it. Might be worth checking to see if the train being properly maintained.
Well,
That's a good point,
we'll
George.
look into that. Right, well, I should be finding out who the magistrate is later on today. I'll be sure to let you know.
Just one thing. Where's the fire exit?
He smiles at you slightly and stands up. Oh, he's already standing. And then knocks on the door. Anything else you
can
care
you-
to add before I leave, gentlemen?
Yeah, can you not get us bail? Or are we being charged? That's the first thing.
Yes, you are being charged.
Are we?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What's the chance of bail on a murder charge? I'll ask him.
He says, I'll ask, but I'll see what I can do, but I wouldn't hold your breath, gentlemen.
Damn it.
God,
Do
that's
something to talk to.
Okay, the door opens and he leaves, and after a couple of minutes there's another knock on the door, and a tray is pushed into the room with some food and drinks on it.
Jump on it, guzzle it all. Mine! Precious. It's only been 3 hours in the cell, he's already...
Okay, I'm going to skip forward a few hours unless you tell me any different.
I want to pinch like the knife off the tray.
There isn't a knife on the tray.
Spoon?
Nope.
I am worried about...
It's finger food.
Finger food? What about the tray itself?
Yeah,
Hubert,
there's a tray there.
Hubert, this is serious now. Get a grip of yourself, man. Look, we all have our suspicions as to the origins of these fire. I'm just a little worried if the fire finds itself to us in a locked room with no way out. What on earth are we going to do?
Are the walls made out? What are the walls made out of? Concrete.
You don't know, they've been whitewashed with something.
What about the
Give them a good kick.
Okay, you stub your toe. It seems to be some kind of stone.
Okay. It seems fairly safe in here, George.
I think we should all start using this bucket and fill it up just in case. I'm serious.
Good idea.
I'll go
Okay.
first.
A couple of hours pass. There's another knock on the door. One of the guards comes in, asks for the tray back,
Oh, Jesse's. I'll give it to him.
and then Mr. German enters again. Right. Good news and bad news, gentlemen. A magistrate has been appointed. He's a pretty good egg. I don't think we'll have too much difficulty. The bad news is he's not going to be here for 3 weeks.
What the heck?
If you need me for anything, you can ask the guard to get hold of me. Otherwise, I'll come back and see you every morning, first thing, for a brief meeting to keep you updated.
I'm sure this didn't happen to Carlisle when he was out here.
Happened to who?
Oh, you know, that chap Carlisle went on the safari, disappeared.
Yes, he had a much worse fate, didn't he?
Allegedly.
Well, they were massacred, weren't they?
Were they? You tell me.
That's what
Well,
the papers said.
That's what appeared in the papers.
What's your interest in Carlisle?
Well, everybody knows about it, don't they? It's the main event here.
They went on the safari just was it northwest in the Great Rift Valley of the Aberdare Forest. It just happens to be where we're heading off to.
Most
So
interesting. Well, I'm not sure that everything was on the level with what happened there anyway. I'm sure this will be much easier to clear up.
How do you mean not on the level?
Just... It was unexplained, wasn't it?
Why were you around here at the time when the case was brought?
Yes, I was, yes.
Oh right, were you serving then?
I was a barrister at Government House back then.
Oh, Morris.
Tell him
Interesting.
all the stuff, George. Tell him.
Tell him everything.
Tell him everything.
And
Make him culpable.
And nobody ever saw any members of the Carlisle expedition again, it was said.
Is there no way you can get us out whilst we're waiting these 3 weeks?
I'm afraid not, sir. Not for murder. This is only a small town. It will be easy for you to run off into the back country.
The Bat Country.
Bat
That's a
country.
slip of the tongue.
What do you know about the back?
Yeah, what I'm going to say. What do you know about the bats?
The bats? What are you on about?
The black-tongued bats that live in the outback.
On the mountain.
Are you feeling quite well, Mr.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, look, I'll see you in the morning, gentlemen.
Okay then, very good. We do appreciate your efforts here.
Okay. It looks like you're going to be locked up for the next few weeks. I'm going to skip forwards in time and tell you what happens, unless you want to try and do something in particular.
Tunnel with us. Never took this trade.
Is there anybody I could get my contacts with through the barrister to the government now to get character references?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You tell him that you're a member of the diplomatic service, and
Use my credit rating and my
yeah. Yeah. Make a credit rating roll, please.
Oh, this is good. Look at that.
He says, "Oh, this might this could well be of use then, Mr. Kirkham, if you're a British diplomat. Let me see what I can do. The next day he comes back. He says, there seems to be a problem, Mr. Kirkham.
What?
Yes, you're supposed to be in Cairo at the moment.
In Cairo?
Yes, apparently you were sent to the embassy in Sydney, and when you arrived there they informed you that your posting had been cancelled and that you were expected in Cairo instead.
I didn't think my post was meant to start till next month. That's why I'm on safari here.
Well, you'll have to explain that to your superiors.
Oh, God damn it. Some idiot got it all mixed up.
Don't you remember that from when you were in Sydney?
God, goodness me. We can't have these kind of mistakes being made in His Majesty's service. As soon as I get out, I'm going to find out who's cocked this up.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to add or say?
Well, just do. I mean, these walls, so using the, like, I know, something in my pocket maybe, is it possible to try and find a stone and start loosening it if we're going to be there for 3 weeks?
Well, there's no... There's no bricks. Guys, I'm just going to have to go AFK a couple of minutes. I do apologise.
Okay, grab a drink.
Come up with a plan or grab a drink or something.
There is bricks.
I think we should just wait for 3 weeks. All it's doing is losing us time. We've got until the 14th of January until this ritual anyway.
Yeah. But this guy Singh is the one who put us in here.
Well, then we ought to go and, as soon as we get out, we ought to go and do a nighttime raid on his warehouse and get things back old style.
Yeah, I think that's right.
We're doing too much pussyfooting around. I think we need to go down there now and start kicking some ass. Head down his tea warehouse, kill him.
Burn the whole place down.
Actually, before Neil comes back, Dave, are you there?
Yeah, back.
Dave, please, before Neil comes back, go into Tandor Singh's place and just pull your gun out and shoot him in the face. If there's no other person, please, go on, do it, because I reckon he's behind everything.
Yeah, I agree.
He's obviously a local cult member.
Sorry, back. Okay.
Okay, Dave.
Yes, and how do you suggest I manage to do that?
When we're out. We're out.
Right,
Dave,
well, alright.
Good man.
Okay, so, you don't get anywhere, unfortunately, Hubert, with trying to scratch your way out of the cell. You can make marks on the wall, you can tally up the days, but that's about it.
Yeah, keep track of the days.
Shawshank Redemption.
We are on a time limit.
Okay, so what else happens? Neville Jamin comes back on a daily basis. He keeps you informed.
Exercise.
Basically,
the cleaning the cooler.
Yeah.
Exercising press-ups.
Okay. The investigation basically doesn't seem to be leading anywhere, though Mrs. Smythe Forbes is rather angry with what's happened with her business. There's a lot of gossip about you in the town, but there's not actually any hard evidence, and they've spoken to people and interviewed people, but no one's got any evidence against you at the moment, other than the fact you were at the wrong place at the wrong time, so to speak. After about a week, there's a knock on the door, and the guard opens the door and says, "You've got a visitor," and Natalie Smythe Forbes enters the room.
Alright, lovely.
Mrs. Smythe Forbes. How are things? Have you managed to... What did you manage to salvage?
She's rather tight. Her lips are pursed. She's still rather angry. Well, the building is too dangerous to work in. The printing press has been badly damaged, though we have some parts coming up from Mombasa. I've managed to arrange to keep a limited circulation going. I've hired some scribes, and that's how we're getting the paper out, but only once every 3 days.
Still, that's quite amazing. What happened?
I was wondering if you would be interested in doing an interview for the paper.
Of course, we've got nothing to hide. Isn't that right? General.
Yes, we talk about injustice.
Okay. Would now be convenient?
Oh, we're not going anywhere.
Okay, she pulls out a notepad. Okay, she just quizzes you about why you're in Kenya, what happened on the train.
Oh dear. We're just telling everybody we're here. In the world.
But
You don't have my permission to use my name. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Oh no, they better not find out my name. I'd be in terrible trouble. I might lose my job.
well, we already have your name, Mr. Kirkham. I've
What?
got that from the officers here.
Oh, outrageous.
Okay, so she basically quizzes you. Are you telling her anything other than the fact that you can't explain how the fire started? And
I'm going to say that I think the other porter was smoking in the toilet.
okay. Yep.
Is my hunch as the train. The newspaper, no idea.
Right, thank you, gentlemen. Anything
Gonna
else to
ask
add before I leave?
Yeah, one more thing. Did you patch it up with, good old Ironside?
With who?
Yeah, the colonel with the elephant gun. He was a bit
Endicott?
irate. Endicott, yeah.
No, he's not talking to me.
Why did he come and visit you carrying an elephant gun? I can't understand that.
He carries that
And why
bloody
did he-
gun everywhere, doesn't he? Mrs.
No.
Carruthers, he calls it.
Why did he discharge it into the air when quite clearly there was
He's
no
a man
need
of
to?
short temper, and he's angry because his business has taken a hit, and he blames the stories I've printed for the.
But
for the
would you
reason.
say, Mrs. Smythe, he's got a fiery temper? Maybe?
That seems to go straight over her head. Yes, he certainly got quite a temper on him.
Do you think you could pass a message to Endicott that would be quite interested to talk to him, albeit he would have to come to us for obvious reasons?
I can,
Yeah, if
but
you could fire a message off to him, that'd be lovely.
whether he will likely ignore it or tear it up as soon as he sees who it's from, I imagine, but I can do so.
If I put my name to it, and I'll put my name to it, hope that he recognises that I'm a reasonably
So you don't go
well-renowned.
like a box of fireworks.
Okay, she hands you a piece of paper and a pencil.
So I'll just say, Dear Endicott, I was hoping to catch up with you while in Nairobi. Really looking forward to visiting you at your hunting lodge. I'd like to write about it in my next novel. Yours, Hubert Reginald U. P.S. I'm currently at the Mombasa police station. If you have a spare half hour, great to chat in person.
Oh, Mrs. Smythe?
Yes?
Who was that Elliot Smith chap then at Colonel Endicott's lodge?
Oh, just an American tourist, I believe.
Oh, was he not known in these parts then?
No.
I'm just passing through. What did you find anything about what happened, or is anything known?
Very little. Endicott claims that the deaths were just down to wild animals. I printed in the paper that I thought it might be a man-eating lion like we had here when the railway was originally built.
Were there any particular signs of what animal would do such a thing? I mean, surely to go out and...
The bones had certainly been gnawed
Good lord.
When was the railway built?
at the turn of the century.
Interesting. How old does it look like she would have been back then?
20s. Thank you for the interview, gentlemen.
I remember Endicott.
Okay, she takes the pencil and a piece of paper off you. Okay, so yeah, Jamin still comes and visits you. Tells you that you're the talk of the town. And then, on the 11th of December, you are called to court.
Damn it.
You're marched out you're still manacled, taken into a room with the magistrate. There's a small crowd of people sitting there from the general public who've come to watch. The proceedings take a few hours, but it quickly becomes apparent that there's no hard evidence, and the magistrate is rather annoyed that he's had to come all the way out here on such a flimsy premise, and more the fact that you were obviously unlucky and have been in the wrong place at the wrong time rather than being malicious. So his time's been wasted, your time's been wasted, and within a few hours you are acquitted of the charges. One of the sergeants comes up and does your manacles. You're free to go.
Thank you, my good man. I need this bit sorted out.
And I'll go to chat to the barrister. So did you find out who the accuser was? The Indian gentleman who came to the...
he was just a passerby who'd heard that you'd been involved in the train crash. He worked at the hotel in the train fire, and then saw you at the printing fire, and you just put two and two together and made five.
Did they take a witness statement from him?
They did, yeah.
Can I see a copy of it as in your part of your bundle?
Rifles through his notes. He shows you. It's very short. It basically says he'd heard in the hotel that you were the people that had been on the carriage, and then he saw you at the other fire. So that's why he reported you to the authorities.
What's the guy's name and address?
You know he works at the hotel as well. We can just follow him from the hotel.
Yeah.
Let's set up.
Okay.
And let's get obs on the hotel and follow him. And if he's connected to Tandor Singh, then we go and do Singh.
Yeah, Tandor's next on the list, I think. Okie dokie. Fine. Well, let's go back to the hotel. I bet somebody's rifled our stuff.
On the way back to the hotel, I'll quickly go and see Nails and explain to him.
Okay, wait, and just give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, you had make a look check, see if he's at the bar when you arrive. Okay, yeah, he's working behind the bar. His eyes widen as he sees you.
Alright, mate.
Alright, mate, you managed to get yourself free then, did you?
Yeah, it was all a load of bloody mix-up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Always pin it on the new place in town. All I had to do was ride it out.
Turn of bad luck, wasn't it? I turned up at the hotel the next morning, expect to be taking you into Blacktown, and was told you'd been marched off to the
Yeah, I know.
to the local clink.
Sorry about that, man. Look, anyway, I popped by to say just
as Nails is talking to you, a large man walks over and puts his hand on Neville's shoulder. He says, "You say your goodbyes to these gentlemen. They're not welcome on this in this establishment, please, Bertram." "Oh yeah, right, boss. Sorry, Jacob."
Alright, no worries. We all have to do what the gorilla says. See you later, innit?
See you around, mate.
Fucking liberties.
Okay, you head back to the Highlands Hotel and you enter in there, and as the receptionist looks up and sees you, his face goes pale and he rings a little bell.
I'll put my hand on the bell.
Okay.
Who are you calling?
Just the manager, sir.
That's good. Why don't you go and get him in person?
He's here now.
Good.
He gestures over your shoulder. The manager walks up to you. "Oh, gentlemen, yes, I'm afraid we arranged for your belongings to be put into storage. You can collect them now before you leave."
Good. That's what we were going to do.
What about getting your money back?
Okay, he takes you over to a room behind the counter, unlocks it, opens it up, and all your stuff's in there.
Does it look like it's been rummaged through?
Not that you can see. It doesn't look particularly.
I need to get a story sorted out. And that was with Bertram, wasn't it? We need to meet him secretly.
Right, gentlemen, if you care to collect your belongings so you can be on your way.
What? What kind of nonsense? Oh, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, let's
Small
pick it up.
town.
Let's just ask him to hail us a cab.
A cab?
Yeah, rickshaw. A boy with a truck.
I'm sure you can make your own way to the railway station, gents. And then he turns and walks off.
Not welcome around here anymore.
Go and pay your friend a visit.
Let's get the Nairobi map up.
It's like living in cardboard boxes, isn't it?
No, we're going out to what's his chop's lodge, but I think en route we go to see Tandor Singh. That's the last one of the leads we've got here.
I'm not going to.
Let's do it.
No.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Before you go out,
Dave.
George, roll 2d3, please.
Dave, do it.
Good.
Come on, man.
Roll 2d3, please, Dave.
Yep.
George. Ooh, you get 2 hit points back for your time spent recovering in the cells. Jacob, 2d3, please. Actually,
Did I lose any?
yeah, you did, but your maximum is 13. Yeah, so roll 2d3, please.
Alright.
Okay, so you're back up to max. Hubert, your maximum is 14, so you're going to get that anyway because you're only on 12. So you go back up to max.
Oh.
Somebody roll 2d3 for Sebastian. Whoever rolls first, I shall take their result. That was that Hubert or George?
I didn't do any rolling then.
It's George, so 3. Okay. Okay, he's looking a bit healthier after his time spent recovering in the cells over the last few weeks. Okay, it's mid-morning and you've been turfed out of the Highlands Hotel with your belongings.
Is there any taxi-looking things going
No.
down? No.
I mean, there aren't really any taxis in Nairobi. It's quite a small town.
Business waiting to happen. Right. Gonna put my stuff over my shoulder. Head out towards Beer Street.
Towards Beershire Street.
Beershire Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Right, so is everybody else going as well?
Yeah, everyone is keeping out of trouble.
Neil, before we get there, I'm going to nip into an alleyway and say, just give me 5 minutes, guys.
What are you going to do?
Okay. Make it quick. You've got 3.
2.
Hang on, I thought I'd put some in that. Oh, forget it. Don't matter.
What are you doing?
He's going to disguise. One of his things is he's like good at disguises, but I actually forgot to put any skill points in disguise.
I did notice that when I was looking at your character. I thought, someone who's good at disguises, he's not got that higher skill in it. In fact, he's got 1%.
He thinks he's good.
He thinks he's good at disguise. He just puts a big stick-on moustache or a pair of glasses.
Who do I look like now? Jacob? No.
It looks like the Marx Brothers.
Groucho Marx.
How about now? Still Jacob.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Okay, so you head out to Beershire Street, and Tandor Singh's shop is there.
I'm going to go in.
Right. You ready?
I'm going in.
You're going in?
George.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my overcoat on, and I'm gonna have my hand in my pocket and my gun on the trigger just in case.
Okay. You enter into a cool, dark shop. Hold on, Mark, please.
Alright.
Behind the counter is a tall Indian gentleman with a tightly rolled beard. George, you identify him as the man who was staring at you as the train was pulling out of Mombasa station.
Right.
I've seen you before, sir, haven't I, Mr.
Oh, gentlemen, can I help you?
I think so, George.
No, I'm not doing it.
Boom! I'm gonna shoot him then.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm going to open fire shortly after.
Hold on. Right, George, you can go first.
You nailed it, seeing him at the train station, George.
Yeah,
But was he going? He's just got off a murder charge.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just. I have a feeling I know what's going to happen, but I'm not doing it. Not this time.
Okay, so you're not doing anything, George. You're just standing in the doorway.
Yeah.
Okay. Jacob.
How many yards away am I?
1, 2, 3. About 10 yards.
At 10.
Hmm.
Good morning, Mr. Singh. I don't know if you remember me. I bought
Yes.
some people to...
Oh, you've come for some tea, have you?
I just swing my shotgun out, up and open it.
Okay.
No, they want to do that.
Yeah.
He is half behind the counter, so that might half the damage.
Yeah, he ducks down behind the counter as soon as he sees your gun. What's the dodge? Base dodge, please.
Double deck.
He's
Yeah.
dodge base is
Double
double
decks.
decks.
That.
Okay, he's got 30% chance. Fuck's sake. Okay, what's the range on that gun you used, Jacob?
That's why I asked how far away I was. 10 yards is 4d6, 20 yards is 2d6, 30 yards is 1d6.
Ouch. Okay, yeah, he flies backwards. Falls to the ground behind the counter.
What the?
They better help.
Right.
I hope he wasn't just an
About
innocent
you
tea
guys.
seller, and
Yeah,
I don't know about you guys, but I think it's about time we went on safari.
I'm going to close the door, look in the street, if there's anybody up and down the street who seems to be...
make a look roll.
Neil, you know I checked the alleyway out previously on my previous visit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to that door at the thing and I'm going to make sure he's dead. And then I'm going to go to that door and go out that way.
Yeah, lucky.
Okay, yeah, no one appears to have noticed the huge
Gonna-
roar of the shotgun going off.
Close the door, put the closed sign up, and bolt it.
Okay.
What's behind the curtain? Just check there's nobody there.
Go and have a look.
Heard. Yeah.
I'm just getting ready to get out of there.
Just a quick twitch.
Okay, give me a second, I shall describe it for you.
Have to do them as well, won't you?
You better search that room quickly, George. We've got to get out of here, sunshine.
There's nobody in the street. I think we just need to bide our time.
No, we don't need to wait around here, sunshine. There's a dead body over there.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it just seems like it's a curtained-off bedroom. It reflects his religion as a Hindu. several pious lithographs and a fine carving in fragrant wood. Yeah.
Can I just ask, what evidence did you guys have that this was done?
The only evidence you had was that George recognised him, though Hubert just seemed to unleash on him anyway. Jacob did.
Andy received stuff.
Yeah, the trail led
he
here.
Told me he was just a tea person, but yet he received artifacts as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've burnt down
That's
places in
worth
Shanghai for less. So I'm going to start rifling through his ledgers to see if I can find any trace
you
of
guys
these
told me-
exports.
Okay, his ledger's behind the desk. Yeah, all of his exports go to a Arjar Singh of Mombasa.
Oh, can we see where his inventory's coming from?
Much of it is coming from India.
And does there seem to
Gentlemen, we gotta go. Come on.
Yes.
Look roll,
I
please.
agree.
Somebody.
Let's go.
I'll do it.
Why? What's yours? Quite good.
Good. Yeah.
Good enough.
Okay.
Gentlemen, we gotta go.
I'm going to look
I've
round
got
here.
this door open, Neil. Check it in the alleyway.
Hold on, Hubert's still looking around. Okay, there's no one in the alleyway at the moment.
Right.
Okay, yeah, it seems like the storeroom piled with small chests and cakes of tea.
I'm going to start poking around, see if any of these chests and stuff will move. If there's any doors underneath them or something.
Okay, make a luck roll.
Somebody grab Hubert.
Yeah, 05.
Yeah, as you move, you start to move the big chest in the middle of the room. You see that there's a trap door plainly visible underneath it.
Yep, right. Over here, guys. Push it. Push it aside.
We could always hide underneath.
No, I'm going to pull the body of AJ Singh round to the trapdoor.
No, wrap him in the rug first so the blood doesn't
Yeah,
leave.
okay.
Big smear of blood all the way to the trapdoor.
Okay.
Good thinking.
Yeah, so you wrap him in a rug, and then what do you do with him?
Pull him over to the
Bloody hell, it's
trapdoor,
been a
then
few
go
years since I've
open
done
the
this.
trapdoor.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, then open the trapdoor.
Okay, there's some steps lead down into darkness.
Okay, I'm going to push his body down there,
Okay.
and then light a flare and drop it down.
Okay.
Straight down.
Yeah, you just see some steps leading down, but this flare bounces down the steps, but you can't actually see from where you are unless you go down the steps.
Can I hear
Oh,
how
God.
long the flare bounces for?
It doesn't seem to be that long, but you're not really sure.
Okay. I'll turn a torch on and scan it round, because that'll pick out any of the room itself.
Not from where you are, you'd have to go down the stairs a little.
Okay, I'll go down the stairs a little.
Okay. Let's grab you and put you on that map.
Okay. I'm going to get out my SMG out my holdall and hold the torch on the handle with the barrel.
Okay, you enter a single room with an 11-foot high ceiling. There's a central support pillar which has chains hanging from it. The walls are shored up with boards and timbers. Make a spot hidden, please. You notice that there are several overlapping but regular depressions in the floor, each about 3 foot wide and 6 foot long, and 3 niches on each of the 2 side walls holding unlit candles. Against the far wall is a 4 foot high statue of crudely carved black stone, a deformed dwarf-like figure with 4 eyes. Its 4 arms each bear a tulwar. 3 large tentacle-like appendages are in place of its feet.
Using my occult skill,
Like
does that mean anything to me with an occult background?
Are you making a call roll?
That's not pretty.
No, it doesn't mean anything to you at all. You've never heard of anything like it. In the corner of the room to the left is a large stone cabinet with a padlock on the doors. And at the bottom of the stairs is a body wrapped in a rug.
Oh, and there's a grave already dug. Is that actually a grave there, Neil, on the map?
Well, it looks like it. It's a 6 foot long hole that someone has dug.
Bonus. Right,
roll,
I'll give the guys a little whistle.
Look roll.
Yeah.
I'll do it, yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Good.
Okay. If any of you want to move down into that room, just move your drag your counters and put it on that other map.
What's up, Hubert? Come on, we've got to get out of here.
I think you want to come down here first.
What's going on?
Right, I'll go over to that cabinet
What's down here, guys?
Jesus.
and try and force the door open.
Okay, it's got a padlock on it.
Sebastian, you're good with locks, aren't you? I'll ask Sebastian to have a go.
Let's have a look. Oops, not it.
Absolutely useless.
What makes you think I'm any good with locks?
I thought you've unlocked doors before for us.
I've no idea what I'm doing.
I'll grab that shovel, Neil.
Here, let me have a look at that.
I will.
Let me have a gander.
I've got a shovel.
I'm going to pull the lid on the trapdoor closed behind us, just if anybody does come in the shop,
Okay.
they won't see us.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Mark, you managed to pick the lock on the cabinet.
Here, son.
Right, you open it up, there's several items in there. On one shelf is a large meat cleaver with a handle of twisted wood. On the one edged blade is etched a symbol which looks a little like the statue in the room. There's several incense cones. There are 6 of them. And there is a large, heavy book. You can't read the writing on the cover. It's written in a language you don't understand. And finally, there is a yellow robe embroidered with the same symbol that appears on the cleaver.
Take the robe. Take the robe, yeah. Might be useful. It's get cold.
Yeah, take the robe
Okay.
I'll grab the book.
Okay.
and start dragging the body towards this grave.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, good idea. I'll start filling the
He's
grave in
even
when the
making the
body's in it.
noises.
Okay, have a look roll of someone, please.
Are these other holes which have been filled in?
Yeah, they are. There's several depressions in the ground that are about 6 foot long and 3 foot wide.
I'll start poking on some of those as well, just to see what's in the bottom of those. Dig one of them up, maybe.
Okay. After a few minutes digging, there's a clang as the shovel strikes something, and you dig it, cover it, and it's a human skull. Make a sanity roll.
Well, I've seen worse than that.
I know.
Oh! Oh!
Okay, lose 1 sanity.
Nothing.
Filling the dirt in above Tandor Singh's body now.
Okay.
Filling it in.
So, Tandor Singh deserved what he got. Right, let's get Arthur.
Make a look roll, please, someone.
Oh, Dave.
Yeah, making sure I clean the mud off my boots and off my...
No, just talk.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Into the street and
Yeah.
away.
No, not into the street, into the alley and then away. You don't
Okay,
want
yeah,
to see
the away.
Yeah, you exit into the alleyway.
Cool.
Go follow the alleyway down the back of a few shops and then come out
Okay.
further up the street.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Right. Okay, so now we need to just go out to the lodge, don't we? In the hunting lodge.
I'll try and get some
Well,
far.
how far away is it?
Don't know. We
Okay,
need somebody
no,
with a
got no
truck
idea.
to drive us there.
Look, you give me half an hour and I'll meet you in the... Hang on, let me have a look. I'll meet you by the hospital.
Okay, hospital it is.
Okay.
My God.
Okay,
Right, Neil,
you're
I'm
quite
gonna
hungry
scout.
now. It's early afternoon.
I'm going to scout round for a decent truck to nip that seems to be abandoned, fairly near. Not a knacker.
I'm going to see if we can buy some food, something to eat.
So basically, you just spent 3 weeks in jail on criminal charges. Since the few hours you've been out, you've broken into someone's shop, shot them, murdered them, buried them, and now you're looking to steal a truck.
Hey, the life of a gangster just follows you. You don't look for it, it just follows you.
Fine. Okay.
I think we're justified in shooting that guy, though.
Yeah.
I did it for
Thanks.
Jane said.
Get an instinct for these things.
That's
Yeah.
what we talked about when you were AFK.
Was it?
Yeah. Dave should just walk up and shoot it.
Neil, can I go into a quiet alleyway or something and just quickly riff through this book, see if there's any pictures of fire spirits or something like that?
You have a quick look through it. You can't make head nor tail of it. It's written in a language that's
Are there any pictures?
not really. No.
Don't look at the pictures.
Nope.
Right, so do I find a decent truck?
Make a look roll.
My looks terrible.
No, you don't. The only trucks that might be suitable have lots of people by them, people sitting in them.
Oh, so you can hire one of them. Not there.
We'll buy it. We've got no money.
Yeah.
There's no petrol in it.
Is there any sort of general supply shop?
You can try and find one, yeah.
In fact, I'll go back and see Nails.
Okay. Make a look roll. Okay, yeah, he's still there. What are you doing here?
Nails.
Thought the boss had told you to clear off.
He did, but I need to get hold of some transport. Where can I get a van from?
Where are you
I
heading?
need a van. A job to do. I need a van.
It's covered in claret.
We're going out to Colonel Endicott's game
What are you going out there for?
I don't know, but I'm hanging on to these guys. I'm in for a
You'd be
penny,
better
in
off
for a
dumping
pound now.
I thought they wanted me to organise a safari for them.
They do when they get back from this Endicott.
I'm brassic, mate. I need the money.
Right, let me see what I can get out of them. Got nothing else. I mean, I've been sat in Clink myself, haven't I, for the last blooming God knows.
See if they need a guide. I can take
Alright.
them. I can arrange some transport and take them for the right money
What, down to...
down to
Alright,
Endicott.
Alright, well, arrange your transport and meet us down by the hospital in about an hour.
I'm still working for another 2 or 3 hours.
Alright, and okay, no worries. We'll grab something to eat and then we'll see you down by the hospital.
Right. Nelson, I thought I told you to get that guy to clear off.
Alright, I'm going. Don't get your panties in a twist. No, first time I ever seen a gorilla wearing panties. See you later.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so I head back to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I'll pass the news on that Nails is going to sort us out transport and as a guide
Okay.
down to Endicott's.
We haven't seen that Johnson Kenyatta yet.
I was going to say, we could just go and see him in the meantime, couldn't we? Got a couple of hours to
Well,
go.
we've got a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We're just going to Browntown to just ask around.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah, you head into Browntown, you ask around, people seem much more willing to talk to you than they are in Whitetown. Before too long, they tell you that he can be found in the KCA, the Kikuyu Central Association, where he works. Let's see if that's on the map, if you give me a second. Yes, it is. I'll mark it on the map for you with a circle. There it is. You can see that?
Shambo.
Okay, you head up to the KCA, which seems to be some kind of office for some kind of organisation, some political organisation. It's quite busy in there. There's no white faces in there at all, and as you enter, everyone turns to look at you. A tall man immediately notices you and walks over. Gentlemen, how can I help you? He's a large African fellow, neatly dressed in a white shirt and tie.
We're looking Nelson Kenyatta. As George says.
I am Mr. Kenyatta.
Johnson Kenyatta.
How can I help you, gentlemen?
Oh, thank goodness. Hopefully you might be able to help us. Is there somewhere we could... Oh, somewhere you'd like to talk?
What do you want to talk about?
It's about Carlisle. And the things that may have happened.
Ah, right, yes. Let's move into this adjacent room. I'll just get the key. It'll be more private in there, gentlemen. His English is excellent, by the way.
Aww.
Okay, he goes and talks to one, grabs a key, and then comes over and locks the door. Please mind the packing cases. Come, find a seat.
He goes over and locks the door, did you say?
Unlocks the door.
Alright.
To let you in.
Not suspicious at all.
Please, take a seat. What's your interest in Carlisle?
We're here to find out just exactly what's happened, and I think we've stirred up a right hornet's nest.
He nods.
We think it's all linked to black magic.
He continues to nod, looking seriously at you.
And the cult.
Yes, the old ways are cruel. My knowledge of them is imperfect.
But we're sure we can make it worth your while. If that doesn't offend you, we'll offer you.
I do not want money.
Payment.
More than 20 years ago, I fled my home. I heard many stories of the black magics. My grandfather was a great Morogi, a diviner. I tried to leave that world behind me. It's ironic that as I strain towards your heritage, gentlemen, you reach towards mine. He seems to think for a while. I don't think it's any accident you've come to see me, gentlemen. The fates have a strange sense of humour. I perceive something about you. Perhaps traces of my grandfather cling to me. If you're willing, there's a man you should meet.
If you think it'll help us get to the truth of what happened.
I don't know, but I feel that your destinies are unfinished. Perhaps you have great victories to live for. Perhaps you'll undergo terrible tragedies as can befall mortal men. But if you'd like to meet my friend, just wait here a moment.
Maybe his friend's not Tandor Singh.
I was just about to say.
He looks at you at the mention of Tandor Singh and spits in the corner. You stay away from that man, he's dangerous.
Not
I'll be back
anymore.
in a moment. Okay, he leaves the room.
Don't say it.
I clasp my hand over his mouth.
And
Okay.
then George did this.
If you're not doing anything, he comes back a few minutes later. Gentlemen, a friend waits for you just outside this door. You must follow him at a distance. He'll make sure you're not left behind. If he stops and waits, you must stop and wait. Eventually he will enter a door that has been painted yellow. When he does, you must enter that door as well, swiftly and without hesitation. I'm glad to have met you. And he offers his hand out to you.
I hope that.
We'll be
Sounds
back
very
again.
intriguing. Let's get this little thing underway, innit?
Okay, he shakes your hands, opens the door. Outside the door is a remarkably tall black man in a white shirt and pants, but without shoes. He smiles at you and then walks off through the door back out into the street.
Follow him.
Follow him. At a distance.
Okay, he leads you deeper into Black Town. It's a very poor part of Nairobi, but it's the people that you see around are obviously cheerful, haven't given up hope. Most of the houses seem to be one-room wood-wall buildings, roofed by bundled grasses and broad leaves. Occasionally there's a larger home of some entrepreneur that makes a striking contrast. Prosperity seems to be mostly judged by how well one's roof sheds water. Roofs made of shingles, tiles, or amalgams of packing crates and hammered out metal sheets have a higher status than the mouldy straw bundles. The man you're following stops occasionally and seems to look round as though he's watching to see if you're being followed. And then he carries on again.
Carry on.
Eventually he leads you to a building a little way apart from the others, and he steps through a yellow painted door and disappears inside.
Right,
Step inside,
go in.
super quick.
Go in.
Okay, you head inside. It's a small shed, and you find yourself beside a high-wheeled yellow Rolls-Royce Roadster. The man you are following opens the door to the back seat of the car and motions for you to get in.
Get in.
Okay, he lets you in, shuts the door, and then wanders round to the driver's seat, and then pulls out of the shack. And within minutes you're bouncing along a dirt track a few miles outside of Nairobi, scattering bicycles and animal-drawn carts as you go, leaving a long cloud of dust behind you. Weren't expecting that, were you?
Can I work out which direction we're going in? We're heading north?
You headed north in Blacktown, but you're not sure where you're going now. You can make a navigate roll, see if you keep track of your direction.
But I can't.
Never ceases to amaze me travelling with you, gentlemen.
Yeah, good idea. Where are we going? No, I don't.
Okay. Okay, you drive for a couple of hours, and the sun's just starting to go down when you arrive at a native village. The driver drives up into the middle of a circle of huts, again mud-walled huts with grass roofs. Your driver turns to you and motions for you to stay in the car, and then he gets out. He walks out into the circle and is met there by another man, a young, delicate-looking fellow, and they seem to be arguing with one another. It gets quite hot in the car, and after a few minutes, village children gather round and peer in, knocking at the windows, their bright round eyes polite and curious as they peer in at you.
Blast them!
After a few moments, your guide comes back and opens the door and lets you out. Leads you up to the other man. He says, "This is a Komu." He then, before you can do anything, walks back to the Rolls Royce, gets in, and reverses out of the huts and drives off, leaving you standing in the middle of this village.
Alright, Governor.
Alright, Komo.
I understand you wish to see Old Bundari.
If it can help us.
What makes me think 4 worthless white men are worthy of seeing Great Bundari?
Hey, steady on, steady on. Don't need to be insulting, is that?
It's a rhetorical question, surely.
No, it is not a rhetorical question. If you don't convince me, you walk back to Nairobi.
Well, if you don't help us, I think the cult of the bloody tongue may about to be bringing forth something quite...
Okay, he ponders, his eyes widen slightly at mention of the bloody tongue. I know these people.
Well, you know we have to stop them.
What makes you think you can stop them?
We've already stopped some of them.
What do you mean?
Like Tandor Singh.
Does somebody want to make a fast talk or a persuade?
Yeah. Which one? Why? Which is my best? Oh, well, same. I'll try and persuade it. We need your help. We need wisdom.
Perhaps you are right, but it is not for me to say. Very well. I will take you to Old Bundari. But there are things you must understand before we enter his hut. Old Bundari travels a different world to the rest of us.
I've done that.
He is not, though you will see him when you enter. He will not be there. You must wait until he returns to us, and whilst you wait, you must not talk, otherwise you will bring him back too quickly, which would be dangerous. I will bring you food and drink whilst you wait. Okay.
Should just before we all go in,
Yeah.
should one of us not go in, so that if something funny starts going on, he can come in and get the others out?
You must all enter the hut.
Oh.
He leads you out of the circle of huts to a much larger hut, which is on a slight hill a little way away. From the outside, it has the smooth curves of a Maasai hut. It's larger and differently constructed from the conical mud dwellings of the rest of the village. A gated fence surrounds it. You enter through a curtain door, and you realise that the house is formed like a snail shell, the entrance passage winding in a spiral all the way around the outside of the single centre room before it opens out. The way is unlit, but you can see fetishes, signs, masks and so on arranged on both the inside and outside whitewashed walls of the passage. In the central room, more such symbols can be seen arranged in ancient patterns. Across from the interior door is a small old man, sitting so still that he seems to be dead.
I'll just sit down.
Akomu gestures for you to sit on the floor before him and puts a finger up to his lips, gesturing you to be silent.
Okay.
He then goes and fetches you some baskets which have various seeds and nuts and fruit in, and some pitchers of water. As you sit there, Akomu occasionally moves across and will move one of the old man's legs, unfolding it and then rubbing it to restore the circulation before carefully folding it back to its original position.
I'll gesture that one to go to the loo.
Akomu just shakes his head.
Point to the door and just go, I just need to go. Still shut up. Okay, how long are you going to sit there for?
Just gonna wait. Quietly changing position.
Okay, you don't know how long you sit there, but it's several hours. Occasionally Akomu goes and moves his arms and milk, and then he replaces your baskets with some with fresh unshelled peanuts, baked plantain and some milk. But he gestures every time you try and speak. He gestures for you to be quiet. Just waiting for Mark to get back because he's gone AFK.
I'm gonna have a look on the. Is it a dirt floor?
It is, yes.
Just check to see if there's any insects walking along. See if I can track. I won't bother taking that.
Like the golden.
I can see if I can sneak behind Jim so he doesn't see me. I didn't do that one. I'm going to see if I can predict with a stone which way the stone will bounce based on the laws of physics. No, I didn't do that one.
None of these are going to work. I'll tell you now. You're not ticking any of them. You can tick your wait patiently skill.
What about anthropology to see if we know which tribe this
Yeah,
guy is?
You can make an anthropology roll, yeah.
Oh, get in.
Yeah, right. Neil, how many if there's 10 apples in the basket and I take out 5 and work out oh no, there's a counting.
Okay, so you wait for several hours, you're not sure, you know it's deep into the night, and you're just sitting there, you almost feel like drooping off to sleep yourselves. But suddenly the body of the old man stiffens, almost seeming to swell, and you perceive an intangible liveliness to the figure which wasn't there before. His eyes flick open, and he studies each of you.
Has he still got this?
He stares at you, George. Has he still got what?
He's still swelling.
What?
The old man stiffens and there's a big swelling. Is that George?
Stop it, yeah. The old man stiffens and stares at George.
Yeah, he's staring at George. You should not be here. You should be in the land of the pharaohs.
Oh.
He then looks across at you, Jacob. You should not be here.
What the?
You should be in jail. He looks at Sebastian. You should be here. You are from the new world, but you belong here in the old world. Then he looks at Hubert. You should also be here. You are a great hunter. Your mission is perilous and time is desperate. Shall I tell you pleasant things, or shall I tell you the truth?
Truth.
The bloody tongue grows arrogant. People across the land disappear into the mountain, stolen by the cult for a horrible sacrifice to come. Leaders are brought low by corrupt thoughts and deeds. Many of us must pray continuously to Nagai, the lord of the Kia Nyaga, to stave off this evil. If you have courage, you may achieve much, but you must hurry. The birth is close. Akomu can help make the arrangements you need, but he cannot do what I can do. I have gifts for you. He gestures to Akomu, and Akomu comes forwards and he lays down on the floor in front of you a fly whisk which has an ebony handle carved with Kikoyu symbols. Carry this whisk with you. It will ward you from the evil. It will also help you in finding what you seek. He nods at Akomu again. Akomu walks off and comes back with a small wooden cage. Inside is a strange-looking creature, a warty grey-brown thing with 3 horns sticking forwards from its forehead. It's a chameleon. This is my friend. She who is not what she seems. You may call her Who for short. Take her with you, feed her well and daily with flies. She will protect you, but once, not against magic. You need but open her cage and free her.
Alright, thank you.
What else would you know?
We need the ritual on the stone for the ritual.
The ritual? Which ritual do you speak?
The one at the Mountain of the Black Wind.
The Mountain of the Black Wind. People are carried to the Mountain of the Black Wind, a terrible place shunned by everyone. Even the greatest spells cast against that place have no effect. It is so called because a terrible god inhabits it. Once per year he unleashes the black wind, which brings plague, famine and disaster. To satisfy the god, the bloody tongue abducts villagers and sacrifices them. Then the god appears in his terrible glory, nearly as tall as the mountain itself. His priestess lives in the mountain. It was she who prophesied the coming of the god's child. You must stop the birth of the child.
Where is the black?
He will soak the land with blood.
Alright, how do we do that then? By the use of this stone.
What
I'm
stone?
still catching up here. Something like
Akomu can guide you to the mountain.
We need it.
Something like darkness, isn't it?
The Eye of Light and Darkness.
Ah,
If you have the
can't
Eye of
remember
Light
if
and
we've got-
Darkness, it could forever chain the cruel god within his mountain.
We can make one. We've got these notes that tell us how to do it.
Show me.
I'll show him the notes.
He looks at them, nods slowly. We may be able to do this thing.
Can you help us make one of these things?
It may be possible. Gentlemen, you must prepare to travel to the mountain of the Black Wind. Once there, you must stop the birth of the son of the god of the Black Wind. If you don't, the sun will rise, he will open the gates, and the lands will be soaked in blood. Once you have stopped the birth and the son being born, if we can make the Eye of Light and Darkness, you must place it upon his altar. Then you will chain the god inside the mountain and stop the gates from opening.
Okay, so number 1, make the eye. Number 2, drive to mountain.
I have travelled
Number 3.
long and far today. I must rest. Akomu will see to your needs, and we will speak again in the morning. Let me just see if I've got a picture. Here's a picture of the fly whisk that he gave you.
Oh.
I don't think I've got a picture of the chameleon.
what colour is it?
The chameleon, it's a brown, grey and brown chameleon, not very colourful.
What if I stand next to it?
Roll it against your face.
But you know what a chameleon looks like anyway.
Yeah.
Shit, how are we going to catch flies for it?
Yeah.
The Komu leads you out. He says, you may stay in one of these huts. We have prepared a hut for you. You'll be brought food.
Miles is going to be blinding angry with me again.
Twice you've stood him up now.
Tell you what,
Jacob, I don't think we were welcome back there anyway.
No, you could tell you were starting to be ostracised, certainly by the white inhabitants of Nairobi.
So, okay, so we got the hut for the night.
The Komu brings the cage with she who is not what she seems inside. Places her in the hut with you. You must feed her.
How?
Then he goes to fetch you some food.
How do we catch fly?
There's plenty of flies about.
Yeah, you know what flies buzz around.
Though you notice that the flies do seem to completely avoid the vicinity of the cage.
That's quite handy.
Right, I'm going to start honing up my fly catching skills with a piece of fruit.
I'll smear some.
It's the early hours of the morning. You're all quite tired.
Bushwhacked.
I'll leave a fruit out. I'll cut a fruit in half and leave it until it's covered in flies, and then put a dish over the fruit, capture all the flies.
Okay.
Very tired.
Alright, so are you doing anything else?
No, try and get some sleep.
Okay.
One eye open.
Okay, you get some sleep. You wake up on the hard floor of the mud hut. As you awaken, you see a couple of young village children peering in at you, giggling. When they see you awake, they giggle and run off.
Shoot 'em.
Don't know too much.
Yeah. Get some flies.
Okay, so if there's kids around outside, it's obviously safe, so I'll just get up and
Okay, yeah.
Stretch.
stretch.
See how the bit of fruit on the floor's doing. See what kind of flies we've got.
Make
Get
a luck
blanket
roll.
ready.
Make a luck roll.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 flies on the piece of fruit.
Come on. Throw a blanket over it or something. Oh,
Okay, you managed to get a pot you can upend over it.
yeah.
Okay. You move the pot, you cover it up, and take it over to the cage, and open the lid so the flies suddenly fly out, and as they do so, she who is not what she seems opens her mouth and flicks out a long sticky tongue, almost as long as she is, and catches the flies. Bam, 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 sucks them back into her mouth.
Just keep feeding her until she's too big for the cage. We need strong magic. Yeah, I'm going to keep that pot. See if they've got a spare pot as well.
Okay, there's a shadow falls across the door, and there's a young girl there, can't be more than 10 years old, with the most brilliant smile, and she bows to you and pushes a basket forwards, and the basket has got some plantain and nuts inside.
Well, thank you very much there.
Okay, she smiles at you and then runs off.
I'm trying to look after this.
It's getting warm already. A Komu comes over to you, to the hut. How did you sleep, gentlemen?
Not well, it's a bit sweaty out here. Got bitten to God knows what.
Actually, you didn't get bitten at all. It's almost as though having she who is not what she seems in the hut seemed to keep it clear of flies, apart from the fruit you left outside.
Wow.
Nice.
I slept quite well then, thank you.
Thank you very much, yeah, wasn't it?
I hope you and
Case.
and old Bundari and are you alright?
Please make yourselves comfortable. I will come and get you when old Bundari is ready to talk again. If there's anything you need or any questions you have in the meantime, I'm happy to try and help.
Have any children from this village disappeared?
No, we have been blessed here. They do not yet feel confident enough to attack this place, not with old Bundari here. That would change if the spawn arrives.
So,
How many children do you think? Sorry, go on.
I'm going to say, is this a village of the Kikiyu then, is it?
It is, yes.
Can I just ask you? Sorry.
Or the Nandi around, is it the Nandi tribe? Are they also in the vicinity?
The Nandi are further north, towards the Aberdare range.
Are they, what do you know of the Nandi tribe?
They are a cruel tribe. We have been at war with them many times. Some of them have joined the Order of the Bloody Tongue, though many of them have not.
Some bad eggs, but they're not all
Can I
bad.
ask you a question about this spawn?
About the what, sorry?
What's it going to look like? Because spawn's like a baby, innit? I can't kill a baby.
I'm afraid I do not know. I only know that the god under the mountain, his son, is about to be born. You must stop that from happening.
Right, what? Well, we'll need a bloody big cork then, eh? I'm not killing no baby. I'm a lot of things. Ain't no baby killer.
If you do not kill this son of the god, you will doom the world to blood and darkness.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Oh, you're alright.
I've had this philosophical question many a time down the old cock and bull, innit?
Sorry, I don't quite understand you, Jacob. What?
Do you sacrifice the one for the many? You know, where's the honour in that? Can you bring yourself to kill a child to save the millions? Does that make it right? It doesn't make it right.
What do you think?
I ain't no kitty killer.
You think there's going to be an actual little mewling infant involved in this?
I don't know. It's the son of the god under the mountain.
Let me assure you, from what we've seen, I don't think it's going to be anything like what you're imagining.
I certainly hope not.
Yeah, let me tell you, sonny boy.
Well, gentlemen, I shall see you later.
Ta-ra.
And the Comey heads back to the village.
Thanks for your help, Governor.
this Nakomu fella's going to come with us, is he? Quite handy. Have we still got this picture? I'm thinking. That little
Here's a
piece
picture
of
of
art.
some Kikuyu tribes people that are wandering around the village.
I'm thinking that piece of art though that we picked up could come in very handy for this encounter. Yeah, the one where you look into it and then you disappear.
What's that?
What could you use that for?
Well, have a look.
What picture?
Have a look at this, George.
How about no?
So you believe that it works then?
But you told Jacob not to look at it, so I'm not going to look at it.
I'm not
told
looking
Hubert.
at it. No way.
No, I'm not
Warned
saying
us
that.
against it. And we
not
see, I've
we-
read it in the journals.
Not we look at it, we take it with us and roll it out. And just walk around with it in front of us.
Okay then.
Feel like the Ark of the Covenant.
What?
Seriously, we go to this mountain, get this thing rolled out in front of us.
I think we should make a bit of use of it if it's going to work.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we should like...
We need to have a bit of backup plan.
Yeah,
Just in
but make it,
case
if we made a
don't worry.
sort of sandwich board.
Get some prints made.
Sandwich board, I love it.
Tack it onto the sandwich board.
Sebastian tells you that when Mr. Yu, the Yu brothers, disappeared into the painting, they had to stare at it for several minutes, concentrate before it happened.
Gotta be worth a go though.
You might get stared at if you wander around just like that.
Okay. And shall we brush up on how
It's going to
make
get you
this,
killed.
Well, it's like armour as well, isn't it? If you've got it made out of metal. Brush up on how to make this Eye of Light and Darkness, I think, before the old guy gives us the 10th degree
What's the
about it.
books? There's something of Zan or Sam. The cryptical books of Sam.
Okay.
Oh.
After an hour or so, Akomu comes over. Old Bundari would like to talk to you.
Okay, sounds good to me.
He leads you off
Lead
to his
on.
hut. You enter the strange hut again, winding through the entrance corridor into the central room. It's very odd. The entrance corridor seems to wind round and round for a much longer time than you would expect looking from the outside of the hut, almost as though the hut is much bigger inside. Akomu is sitting on the floor in the centre of the middle room again, and he has the 7 cryptical books in front of him that you gave him before to look at. Gentlemen, I believe we have a chance of creating the Eye. I have sent messages to friends. They will arrive here in 3 weeks' time, and we will perform the ritual.
Okay. In the 3 weeks, Akamu, is it going to be worth our while scouting out the mountain, or is that too dangerous?
Akamu says no one goes near the mountain. It is
But
a
you're
very
telling us
dangerous
to go near
place.
the mountain.
When you are ready. We cannot stop you, but we will not go with you if you wish to go now.
No, I don't. In that case, sounds dangerous. Okay, you persuaded me.
Okay. He nods at you. He says, Akomu will take care of you. So Akomu then leads you back out. So, the elders of the other tribes will arrive in 3 weeks, and we will perform the ritual then.
So
You are welcome to stay. We will look after you, take care of your needs whilst you are here.
Look, out of character, guys. You guys who are badly hurt, we could do with a bit more rest before this final Blackwing Mountain ass kick that we're going to get.
We could all do with full hit points, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm hinting at.
I'm not that far off from most of us. There's only Sebastian really who got trounced. Forgive me, Mr. Bundari.
Oh, you've been taking him outside now. Okay,
Oh.
he's taking you outside.
Damn it.
You can ask Akomu. He can.
Akomu,
He doesn't know. He can pass your message on.
yes, perhaps you could have a word with Mr. Bundari. We've had some trouble recently with some malevolent fire spirits, and we do not wish to bring any more of them down upon you and your village.
He's
if
nodding.
you're looking after us like
If
this and not
Tandor
willing to
Singh
help
is
us.
truly gone, the fire spirits will not be a problem.
Yes, we got the right guy.
That is a great relief.
It's a great relief.
You have much bigger foes to face.
That's not a relief. Akomu, one thing. I can feel it burning a hole in my rucksack. I have this book here, and I think it is a thing of great evil. But I don't know if it's safe to just
He takes the
burn
book off you. I cannot read this. It is written in Hindi. Let me just check you can't read it. No.
It's a shock.
I will try and get it translated. We have several weeks.
Don't read it though, you'll turn mad and then you'll try and kill us all, and then that'll be it. He gives it to Obundai to read, who gets converted to the cult of
So
bloody
what are your plans for the next 3 weeks? Are you going to stay in the village?
Yeah, but I'm going to practice disguise.
How about now? How about now?
I want to do...
Different- different accents. Oh, to be sure, to be sure.
Right, so you're not going to do anything
Yeah,
with what...
I want to keep the chameleon who,
Yeah, you're going to keep him well fed. Good.
and also try and just talk to Akomu and whatever about the bush around here and pick up any survival tactics and
Okay.
how
Yeah,
they
he
keep-
tells you about the bush. He says the Aberdare range, which is where the mountain of the Black Wind is itself, is quite cool and quite beautiful. Though of course there are various diseases, snakes, spiders, frogs that are highly poisonous out in the bush, as well as the larger carnivores such as lions and hippos. And on top of that, of course, there is the cult of the bloody tongue as well. But other than that, it's perfectly safe.
Well, perhaps you could impart in the time that we're staying with you some of your tribe's knowledge on how to survive in these parts and not to eat the wrong things.
We will be accompanying you.
Oh wow.
Okay, after about a week he comes back with some sheets of paper that have been translated from the book you found.
Uh-huh.
Hold on 1 second.
Power. Spells. I'll look after that.
45. There's one particular piece that takes your interest, which is a prophecy translated from the book, which is called the Cathat Aquadinjan.
The
The prophecy tells of 4 idiots who stumble. It's the most powerful ritual known on planet Earth. And in their own lovable way.
And then she'll get you open as the sun is blotted out. There's a small crawler.
I'm not. By the way, Neil, I'm still not getting these handouts. Come on.
You're not,
The only
mate?
one I've had. No, the only one I've had tonight is the floor plans.
No, it's number
Schedule,
35. I don't know if you can find them in your...
Yeah, when I click on them, it goes and the summoning thing disappears, and it's just a blank beige.
But what if you open up maps and images? Are they in there?
Yeah. But then I click on them, and the same happens.
Oh, okay.
I get the summoning.
I think you
thing,
need to
it disappears
reinstall
and-
Fancy Grounds. Does someone want to read it out for Mark then?
Okay then. And then shall a gate be opened as the sun is blotted out. Thus the small crawler will awaken those who dwell beyond and bring them. The sea shall swallow them and spit them up, and the leopard shall eat of the flesh in Rudraprayag in the spring. Well, Jacob, I don't think it's going to be a small little baby if it's called the small crawler.
Okay.
That's what babies do, innit? They crawl.
Oh yeah, you got a point. You got a point. I gotta hand it to you.
A small crawler. That sounds like a little baby infant. to me.
Anybody doing anything over the next 3 weeks?
We
Psyching
could
myself
go to
up
that.
in case I have to empty my shotgun into a baby's face.
Practicing on the tribe.
We could go to that ranch, but I'm not so sure it's going to take us any further forwards. Just
You
seems
could at
to
least
be.
go and check it out. I don't know.
Yeah, but you don't want to get wasted looking into something which isn't going to.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, in that case, George, your hit points are going to go up a minimum of 3, so they go up to 11, which is your maximum. Jacob, your hit points are already at maximum. Hubert's already at maximum, and Sebastian. Roll 3d3. Somebody for him. Whoever rolls first.
Good lord.
His maximum is 13. Yeah, okay, so it goes up to 13.
One thing I am going to do. I know, because I can't get into Nairobi without walking there.
You can walk back to Nairobi, it's going to take you the better part of a day.
Okay, well, I'll go and do it, and then try and get somebody to give me a lift back out here. But I'm
Don't
going
go
to
near
buy.
nails.
Okay, Akomu advises you not to go back into Nairobi. He says he won't stop you.
Okay, I won't.
He says
How
it's
much dynamite
important
have I
that
got on
no
my
one
purse?
follows you back here.
How much dynamite have I got on my person? Let's look at my notes.
They took a load as well, didn't they?
I took some, yeah.
As much as I can carry!
As much as I can carry, yes.
Roll 1d10 and add 10 to it, and that's how many sticks you've got. 18
80.
sticks.
I
Can you
got-
make a note of that on your
Yeah.
inventory?
I picked 5 up from when there was a big stash of them, apparently, and I've got another stick in my rucksack. I don't know if that rings true. Remember when we...
Yeah.
I remember that.
Okay, so the 3 weeks pass. The time in the village actually is one of the, despite the sense of impending doom and of fate hanging heavy over you all, the time you spend in the Kikuyu village is actually some of the happiest time you can remember. You bond with the villagers who always seem to be smiling and showering you with gifts and making you feel welcome. And they try and teach you a few words of Swahili.
Any fit mid-20-year-olds coming to while away the days, innit, for the old Jacob.
No one who expresses that kind of interest in you, I'm afraid.
Learn some Swahili.
After a few weeks, people start to enter the camp and they all have slightly different tribal decorations in their hair and on their clothing. Obviously from slightly different tribes, and they set up camp around the village. And by the time Akomu comes to fetch you in early January 1926, there are probably another 40 or 50 people there that have arrived over the last few days. And then in the evening, Akomu comes and fetches you. He says, "We are performing the ritual tonight. Would you care to take part?"
Blinding, yeah.
Of course.
More a watcher than a doer on those sorts of things. I'll
If you think we will be of help at use, need us, then most assuredly.
I'm sure we will be channeling your essence into the stone. I'm sure it will all help.
Well,
I'll help.
Okay.
No, I'm going to step this one out.
what
Okay.
happened last time? I can't remember. I wasn't.
I got my power drained permanently.
Ah.
But
Okay.
go ahead.
Well, eventually, old Bundari walks out of his hut, and all the other tribespeople bow before him, and then form up rows, a long line in front of him, and he begins to chant and raises his eyes to the ceiling.
I've forgotten something. Right. Back to the hut.
As he starts to chant, the other villagers and the other people from the other tribes also start to chant as well. Oh, where's it gone?
I am going back to the hut.
You're not staying there. Just Jacob and Sebastian.
Yeah. I quietly asked Hubert what happened last time. I can't remember, and he said it made me feel really weak. Yeah, I don't want that.
Okay. So they start chanting Sama, Sama, Teo, Sama over and over again as the moon rises. In front of old Bundari is a small slab of heavy stone which starts to glow, and one by one the tribespeople set forwards. Bundari reaches out and cuts across their palm with a ritual knife, and they drip some blood onto the stone, still chanting. Jacob, it's your turn, and you are summoned forwards.
Yeah.
Okay. He slices your hand, and you drip a few bits of blood onto the stone, and so does Sebastian, who comes after you. Roll 1d4, please.
Yeah.
4. Okay, you lose 4 power. Goes down to 6, which drops your luck down to 30. Roll another d4 for Sebastian.
Somebody else, alright.
Okay. Oh no.
Okay, you're feeling slightly weak, but you continue to chant, and the chants carry on through the night until the moon finally sets. And as it does so, a symbol seems to glow within the stone and then fades until you're just looking at a normal stone again. And then old Bundari looks up. It is done. We leave in the morning.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Oh, really, I could live out here.
Right. What time have people got to finish tonight?
Yeah, pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there.
We can leave it there, or we can carry on for about another 15-20 minutes. It's up to you.
I don't
Another
mind.
15, 20 minutes. Another 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you have a few hours rest, and then a Komu comes to get you. There is a small troop of about 10 Kikuyu tribes people with him. Are you ready to travel? We head to the mountain of the Black Wind.
Yeah, let me just get me packed together.
Okay, you get your packs together. You pick up the cage with she who is not what she seems inside, who has formed a rather strange bond with George, who has been feeding her flies. You grab the fly whisk, and you set off north of the village. Akomu tells you you're heading first of all to Ndovu village. It's several days' journey away up through into the foothills of the mountains.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
I'll pack appropriately.
Okay. There are 2 routes to the mountain. One through the plains, which will allow us to reach there more quickly, but it is easily watched by the cultists. The other route will lead through the forests. That is the route we will take.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Obfuscation. Over la-di-da, here I am anyway.
Okay, he leads you up into the and you travel over several days through the tropical forests of the Aberdare range, which are uniquely temperate. Giant cedars, olives, camphors and figs thrive there, gradually giving way to montane bamboo as the altitude rises. The undergrowth is often very thick, making for slow travel off the trails. Frequently the mountain slopes are cool and wet from mist, fog or rain. Many rapid streams have to be crossed. On the way, you catch sight of forest antelopes, giant hogs, duicas, elands, leopards, and lammergeiers. At lower elevations, Akomu tells you to beware of the lethal green mamba, an incredibly quick and dexterous tree snake. Snow-capped mountains rise to either side, and after several days' travel, you arrive in Ndovu village. As you arrive, Akomu tells you not to tell them where you are heading, and not to mention the bloody tongue.
Okay.
What? No worries. No
He
worries.
says we will gather some supplies and rest here. Got some pictures somewhere for you. Yeah, so this is the kind of terrain that you're travelling through.
What's that?
Got that.
What's that hand?
Oh, cool.
Whose hand is that?
Jungle.
Whose hand is it? Whose hand?
The zombie.
Um,
I'm going to ask Akomu. So, what is the story you're telling the people of Ndovu that we are doing here?
you are simply paying for a safari.
Oh, of course.
Stupid white men.
Here's a photo of the sort of mountains that you're looking at as well. Give you an idea of the kind of terrain.
Hello there, we're on a safari. Hello, we're on a safari. Hello, we're on a safari.
Okay. Well, none of the people in the village speak English, and there's a slight atmosphere in the camp. You stay in the village for 2 days, resting and gathering supplies, and then you set off again, heading northeast. You travel for another 2 days.
Sorry, can I just ask?
Yeah?
Before we carry on, who's got the eye? Who's holding it?
One of the tribespeople has it in a wicker pack on their back.
Aye, aye.
How heavy is it about?
It's quite heavy. You can lift
10
it,
kilos?
but no, more like 25. You have to lift it with both hands.
Okay.
You travel for a couple of more days, stopping and camping in the cool night air. It's definitely cooler up here in the mountains. A wide saddle-shaped pass separates Mount Kenya from the Aberdare range, and you stroll down into the north side of the pass. And as you do so, you come across what was originally a huge mountain meadow of considerable beauty, but now it is blackened as though someone has seared the ground with gigantic branding iron. All the animal trails nearby skirt the area, and you have to hack your way through disturbing, deformed underbrush. The soil feels squishy and spongy. Nothing grows on it once you opens out into the area, and a foul odour hangs over the place. Akomu tells you this is where they found the Carlisle expedition.
Good lord.
We will cross the corrupt ground and then make camp.
Let's do it quick. I don't like walking on horrible stuff.
Okay, you make camp for the final time. Tomorrow we will reach the mountain. It's the 13th of January 1926.
Is it a Friday?
It's a Sunday.
It's lucky for some.
Okay, the next morning dawns. Everyone is pensive and quiet as you prepare. There's a strange sense of fate hanging over you as you push on for the final push towards the mountain of the Black Wind. Akomu tells you you'll be travelling for most of the day.
Shit.
Can I just ask, gentlemen, if any one of us have thought what we're going to do? Because this ritual is not going to be just a few people there. There's likely to be probably hundreds, if not thousands, of these people who are part of this cult that you guys are after. Isn't that going to be a little bit dodgy? How are we going to look? Maybe we should disguise ourselves
Yeah, easy. We'll just describe ourselves as tribesmen and trick our way in.
as cultists, maybe.
Well, maybe we should just see the lay of the land when we get there and then make a plan.
With this stone, Akobu, do we
Yes,
just,
sir.
do we just sort of dump it near to...
No, sir. Old Bundari was very clear. Once the spawn has been killed, or the birth stopped, you must place the stone on the altar of the Black God.
Okay. So, how do we kill that spawn, then?
I do not know.
Starting to see a flaw in our plan.
How about this? And I'll pull out my lightning gun.
I was just saying, we've got lightning guns.
That's true, that's true. Well, I haven't, but
Well,
you
I
two have. I wasn't.
No, I haven't.
Sebastian has.
There's always one of these. Pull up my dynamite stick.
Okay, you travel on through the day, and as you get closer and closer to the mountain that you can see in that painting I sent you, everyone in the group becomes much more quiet and pensive. The dank conical mountain rises abruptly from the broadening plain ahead. Everywhere else the forest has thinned and the grass taken hold, but on the slopes of the mountain of the Black Wind a dark and lurid green forest persists. By the time you reach the mountain, it stands above a large valley. You get there just after darkness has fallen, and as you peer over the rocks into the valley, you see a throng of people. Thousands and thousands of them. You estimate 10,000. Those assembled below you come from East Africa, Europe, the Middle East and Asia. Most are wearing their best regalia in honour of something. Sudanese, Arabs, Bushmen, Indians and Europeans can be seen, as can many Malays. A woman emerges from a cavern halfway up the side of the mountain and speaks, her voice carrying somehow through the night air above the crowd, which chant and raise their arms to her. She speaks in Swahili, though somehow you can understand what she says. Tonight is the time of greatness, when our Lord sends us his chosen seed. Tonight comes the dread child and its terror to confirm us. Nayar Shathan, Nayar Gashana, Nayar Shathan, Nayar Gashana. The echo rolls back from the mountainside and fills the plain. She repeats the chant over and over, and the vast throng picks up the chant, drums pounding as the rhythm of the words again and again, and the thousands of cultists begin to sway. Nayar Shathan, Nayar Gashana, Nayar Shathan, Nayar Gashana. The echo rolls back from the mountainside and fills the plain. Clothes are thrown off as the frenzy builds. The starlit sky grows darker as the clouds build up. Lightning flashes closer and closer, heading directly for the peak of the mountain, the peal of thunder growing louder. A wind rises, chill, thin and sharp, a plume forming above the mountain. Nayar Shathan, Nayar Gashana. The naked cultists grab random prisoners from cages around the valley and hack at them in the most cruel and despicable fashion, the blood of dozens of men and women and children washing the plain. And we shall leave it there.
Now is the chance to use lightning gun, George.
George! Tally-ho!
I can take her out before she gives birth to the thing.
She's probably half a mile away, across the plain, halfway up the mountain, standing
I
on
get
a ledge.
I get my rifle out and start cocking my neck and doing that thing. Danny got a lethal weapon with his head.
All we need to do is get above them and set off the dynamite and let the mountain fall on top of them.
I think the next session is going to be the last, one way or the other. But we're going to have to wait a few weeks because I can't make it next week. So, and I want to wait till Matt's back as well, because I want everyone to be there for the last one.
Aye.
Yeah, somebody might be able to join
It
us.
might be.
Give him another prod. Always handy. He could play a tribesman.
He could be down there ripping his clothes off as we speak.
That would be funny, actually, if Harry was in the audience.
Batman and his wife runs
I recognise that body down there.
jiggling about.
Okay, guys, I hope that was fun.
Sure, that's funny. Cheers.
That was great fun, thank you, Neil.
Thank you, Neil. Very good.
Alright, I'll let you know when we're ready to go for
look
the
out
last
for it,
session.
yeah.
Alright.